The history of the Roman Empire is profoundly important for a variety of reasons, spanning political, cultural, legal, and technological domains. It shaped the development of Western civilization and continues to influence modern societies in significant ways.
The rise and fall of the Roman Empire is a complex historical process influenced by a multitude of factors. Imagine a civilization so powerful it ruled over 60 million people, stretching from the deserts of the Middle East to the icy shores of Britain. A civilization that gave us the modern calendar, the concept of the Senate, and roads that are still used today. And yet, this mighty empire did not last forever. This is the story of the rise and fall of Rome.
Here is an overview of the key reasons behind both its ascent to power and eventual decline. Geographical advantages. Rome's location on the Italian peninsula provided natural defenses. Like the Alps to the north and access to fertile land for agriculture, its proximity to the Mediterranean Sea facilitated trade, communication, and military expansion. Military strength and organization. The Roman army was highly disciplined, adaptable, and innovative. It employed advanced tactics, engineering, and logistics. Rome's ability to incorporate conquered peoples into its military and governance system helped expand its influence. Political institutions. The early Roman Republic developed a balanced system of governance with checks and balances between the Senate, magistrates, and popular assemblies. This system allowed for stability and gradual reforms while preventing tyranny. Integration of conquered peoples. Unlike many empires, Rome often granted citizenship or partial rights to conquered peoples, integrating them into Roman society and fostering loyalty. This policy created a vast network of allies who contributed resources and manpower. Infrastructure and engineering. Romans excelled in building roads, aqueducts, bridges, and other infrastructure that connected their empire and facilitated economic growth. These innovations also supported efficient administration and troop movement. Cultural adaptability. Rome absorbed elements of Greek culture, philosophy, and art, which enriched its own civilization and made it more appealing to others. Religious tolerance allowed diverse populations coexist peacefully. Economic prosperity. Trade networks across the Mediterranean brought wealth to Rome, funding further expansion and development. Agriculture, mining, and taxation from conquered territories fueled the economy. Our story begins in 753 BCE with a legend. Rome, they say, was founded by Romulus, a man raised by a she-wolf, a city of outcasts and warriors. Rome was built for greatness, but it wasn't an empire yet. It was just a tiny city-state, struggling to survive in a world ruled by the mighty Etruscans and Greeks. Then came the Republic. In 509 BCE, Rome threw out its last king and established a government unlike anything the world had ever seen. A republic, where power was shared among elected officials. The Senate, a council of Rome's elite, ruled the city. This system, imperfect but innovative, but Rome wasn't content with just being a city. It expanded. First, it conquered its neighbors in Italy. Then it set its eyes on the Mediterranean. The greatest challenge, Carthage. Carthage, a powerful city in North Africa, stood in Rome's way. What followed were the three Punic Wars, a series of brutal battles that lasted over a century. 3 wars took place on both land and sea. The Carthaginian general Hannibal became legendary for leading war elephants over the Alps to attack Rome. But in the end, Rome emerged victorious, resulting in the destruction of Carthage, the enslavement of its population. By 146 BCE, Carthage was no more. Rome had burned it to the ground, ensuring it would never rise again. The Mediterranean now belonged to Rome, but with great power came great problems. Why were the Punic Wars so important? The Punic Wars provided Rome with the training, the navy, and the wealth to expand from a small city to an empire which would rule the known world. The Republic was crumbling. Generals like Julius Caesar grew too powerful, their legions more loyal to them than to Rome itself. The Senate, corrupt and out of touch, could not control them. In 49 BCE, Caesar, fresh from conquering Gaul, did the unthinkable. He marched his army into Rome. It was an act of war against the Republic. Caesar became dictator. He reformed Rome, giving land to the poor and restructuring the government. But not everyone was happy. On the Ides of March, 44 BCE, a group of senators assassinated him, hoping to restore the Republic. Instead, they unleashed chaos. Out of this chaos rose Caesar's adopted son Octavian, later known as Augustus. He defeated his rivals, took control, and in 27 BCE declared himself the first emperor of Rome. The Republic was dead. The empire was born. For the next 200 years, Rome thrived. This was the Pax Romana, the Roman peace. Roads connected distant provinces, aqueducts carried fresh water, and grand amphitheaters hosted gladiator battles. Rome was the center of the world, a beacon of civilization. Great emperors like Trajan expanded the empire to its greatest size. Hadrian built walls to keep invaders out. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, tried to rule wisely, but cracks were forming. The Golden Age could not last forever. By the 3rd century BCE, Rome was in trouble. Corrupt emperors, civil wars, and economic collapse weakened the empire. In 285 BCE, Emperor Diocletian split Rome in two, the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire, hoping to make it easier to manage. It was a desperate move. Then came the barbarians. For centuries, Germanic tribes had lived along Rome's borders. Now they saw weakness. The Visigoths, led by Alaric, sacked Rome in 410 BCE. A shocking moment. Rome, the eternal city, had fallen to invaders. The final blow came in 476 BCE when the last emperor, a boy named Romulus Augustulus, was overthrown by a barbarian warlord. The Western Roman Empire was no more. The eastern half, known as the Byzantine Empire, would continue for another 1,000 years. But Rome, as the world had known it, was gone. And yet Rome never truly died. Its laws, its architecture, its language, Latin, shaped the world. The dream of Rome lived on in the Renaissance, in the modern republics that followed its model, and in the roads and bridges that still stand today. The fall of Rome was caused by a combination of internal weaknesses and external pressures. Key factors included heavy taxation, inflation, corruption, loss of civic virtue, and cultural decline.
From a city of outcasts to a sprawling empire, from glory to ruin, the story of Rome is a reminder that even the greatest empires rise and fall, but their legacies endure.